Imagine I am in the room with you and we are gathered for a training session. I come to the front of the room and the first words I speak are, "Good morning." Now imagine that when I said good morning, no one in the audience responded. It was literally dead silence. How do you think I would feel if the response was nothing? I'll tell you how I would feel. I think I'd be feeling awkward, maybe a little embarrassed. Maybe I'm thinking, this isn't going to go well. Now, why did my thoughts become negative? They became negative because you didn't acknowledge me. When I said good morning, I fully expected that the entire audience, or at least most of the audience, would respond with good morning. But when there is no acknowledgement, I'm left hanging. And when I'm left hanging, my thoughts become negative. Psychologists talk about something called the communication chain. The communication chain says when a person puts something out verbally, such as good morning in this example, we expect the other person or persons to link to that chain by responding. And my expectation would be that you'd say good morning. When there is no response, the chain is left unlinked or broken. When you are interacting with customers, they have that expectation. When they say something or they express frustration, maybe even anger, they actually expect that you are going to link the communication chain and respond. But if we ignore a customer's expression of anger or we tiptoe around that anger, we leave the chain unlinked. Now, in our example, when I didn't hear good morning, what happened is I went to the right side of my brain. That's what happens when we're not acknowledged. We gravitate to the right side of the brain, and on the right side of the brain is where we are emotional. This is where we're going to feel anger, surprise, grief, joy. In this situation, I didn't feel joy, I felt embarrassed and awkward. When a customer is not acknowledged and they're clearly angry, you know that from the tone of their voice or the words that they say, and you do not acknowledge that anger, you push them to the right side and they become even more angry. Perhaps they demand to speak to a manager or they yell, curse, whatever their particular mode of operation is. And they do that because the communication chain was not linked. If when I entered the room, you all had said good morning back to me, I would have moved on. I would not have missed a beat. I didn't have to go to the right side of the brain. I would continue on with my training session. When I'm not acknowledged, that throws me off. When you close the link on the communication chain by acknowledging the customer's emotion, what you're doing is you're bringing closure to the communication. The customer feels acknowledged, they feel heard, they are able to move on, and they are far easier for you to deal with. Acknowledge your customer's communication, acknowledge their emotion, close the communication chain. When you do, customer service is so much easier for you.